1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the intro's over. Time to grab your drink and sit down. Come on, we're starting.
Okay, I know this is the show you've been waiting for. I know there's all sorts of expectations. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, or good night, wherever you're at on this planet. The numbers are all flowing. The bars are moving. Don't tell me you can't hear me. Of course you can hear me. So I'm going to start with a drink like we should. This is the Bottom of the Glass Nation. Welcome to GenX Talks. Welcome to KGXT Studios, broadcasting 200 feet below occupied California. We have to start drinking. No, we import this all the way from Tennessee. We get this in here, we dig down, we drink this underground. There's nothing better than underground whiskey, is there not? I would tell you that Mrs. Fort Watten's father snuck this across the Canadian border, but that wouldn't be true. This is Tennessee Hooch. I'm going to raise a glass and kick off this Bottom of the Glass Nation show between you and me. Remember, I'm going to drink and lie, you're going to drink and believe it, and then we can get along famously. And it all starts with the first drink. Don't make me drink alone. I will. I've done it before, but I don't prefer it. Oh, yes, with training wheels in hand, we begin. So, how the hell are you? Who's in here tonight? Chris Wilkin, 1937 Hearst. Now, that's a name I haven't seen in a bit. Where the hell have you been? It looks like Mrs. 4 Watten is swinging a big blue wrench. Thank you very much, Mrs. 4. 787 FXR, Wicked Widget, Carl Gerard, Noel, M.W. Dawson, Mike Wiedel, Vern Ulrich. You're touching my hand, man. Why are you touching my hand? And what are you doing? You're touching my hand. Don't. The kid's doing something. Okay, you got the jar going. Are we done now, Mr. Producer? You can also clear that jar, son, if you want to. You got a big bunch of nothing going on. Noel, Deanna the Moonwraith. Now, real quick on Deanna the Moonwraith. I'm playing chess with multiple people of you right now. We go to chess.com, look up my name and the kid's name, and I'm playing with chess. I'm not super good. You guys want a challenge? Play the kid. He's getting better than everyone he's playing with, and he tells me who he can beat confidently. I love playing with Deanne the Moonwraith because the only time she beats me is if time runs out and I forget to play, which happens because I get really busy. But it's really good to just stomp on her and go, that's right, I won. I know she laughs at me because sometimes as I'm trying to win the game, I'm just chasing her king around the board. And my son looks at me, he's like, Dad, you could win this in 2 moves. I'm like, shut up, I got it. I got 6 pieces and I'm chasing her king. Okay, I told you I wasn't very good. Shut up. Two Bears swinging a big blue wrench also. We talked about Vern Ulrich, Kristen Rose, Allen, Joker2465's in the house. Looks like everybody showed up. Good crowd tonight, the usual suspects. Sandy turned my whole screen green. Got her big red one. Do you have your big red one? I don't think you do. Member for 12 months, Bottom of the Glass Nation. Hello, most handsome general. Today, I get my 1-year icon. She has her big red one. She called me handsome for a reason. Would you like to know the reason? Good. I'm glad you asked. Because I'm handsome. Now pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention real quick. I don't like to do this. I love to do this. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, and especially to the ladies, I can turn this down, but I can't turn it off. So if I have it up to about a 7.5 and it starts to affect you at home where you're sitting, well, you're just going to have to deal with it or you're going to have to go someplace else. And when I say change the channel to get away from this so this stops affecting you, you can't just change from channel 2 to channel 4. No. This travels. If you're on channel 2 and this is affecting you, better go to 13 or go to UHF 52. Start watching Speed Racer or Little Rascals because this just keeps going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the scheduled broadcast. It's October 21st. We got 2 days till Gen Z Kid's birthday. There's some special stuff going on that day. It's shaping up to be something really special. Just like this show. There's stuff that's going to happen tonight. You guys, true blue diehard Gen X fans, the format tonight, I bet you've seen it we've done it 3 or 4 times in 3 years. There's only a few of you that have been here every single time for all that stuff. This is something very rare that we once in a while do. Loud one, $5, turn my whole screen teal. Third generation Camaro versus third generation Camaro versus third generation Camaro. First race tonight for us. Loud one, I got some advice for you. When it comes to drag racing, I know a thing or two. I'm old school. I've been to the track. Okay, I've counted down the Christmas tree. So I'm going to give you some advice that will help you be successful when you pull your ticket at the end. Ready? Kick his ass. Yeah, that's all you need to know. Have a shot of hooch before you go. Make sure your girl gives you a big, wet, sloppy kiss. Slide in sideways, strap into that 5-point, and just go, man, go. We wish Loudon all luck. He's got a really fast car. I can't drive it. Not because Loudon wouldn't let me. My big fat ass couldn't fit through the window. They'd have to put the door on and weld me in. Then I could drive the car. There's probably some rules against doing that, though. All right. So with no go, Ryan Surlease and Two Bear swinging the wrench, like I mentioned, I'm going to jump ship and start doing some stuff. The shoeless one, $10. Sherma whole screen yellow. Good evening to the bottom of the glass nation. That's the shoeless one, is welcoming you all, as you guys should. That's what the intro is 6 minutes long for. That's why Ashley, we love Ashley on staff here, that's why she made the intro that long, so you guys can all get caught up with each other. That's what makes this more of a family. You guys know each other by name. You guys are familiar with each other. You know when someone's missing in action. That's a big thing. I wouldn't trade the followers and the fans and the friends of this program that we have for 30,000 visitors and 30,000 viewers on a live stream. Wouldn't trade it for anything. This is a family. I dig it so much. I love to be part of it. Thank you for including me. All right, so we had stuff. Let me go to the stuff. Let's get the stuff out of the way. First one, real quick, Patreon. If you didn't get notified from Facebook, if you didn't get notified from Rumble, if you didn't get notified from YouTube, join Patreon. One of the staff will put up the link. Join Patreon. It's $1, and then you get an email. We don't bother you. You get all the behind-the-scenes goodies, stuff that nobody else gets to see. There's a lot of info. There's a lot of stuff that no one sees unless you're a member. That's one of the ways you can become a member is Patreon. So the new podcast is up, doing really well. I didn't even notice something here. GenX Mom comes out. I go, look, I'm all done editing the podcast, but we have to get a picture. And she's like, my hair's wet. I go, well, you've never done a wet hair one before. Let's just do a wet hair one. She goes, I don't want to. And I talked her into doing it. So we did the picture. And I guess I didn't even know if you guys really ever get to, when you listen to the podcast, do you even see the picture? Do you get to see it? I mean, does it pop up, or do you click it, or does it just sit there on your screen while the thing? I don't know what. I can't see it from your guys' view. I just wanted, so from my perspective, I just think you see it for half a second and it's gone. I was on a Zoom call with Dr. McDreamy and his wife, and he goes, oh yeah, the podcast, the one where you're grabbing her boob. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, the podcast where you're grabbing her boob. I said, wait, are you listening to the same podcast that I'm listening to? What are you talking about? Sure enough, I didn't even realize. I had a hand right on her boob on that. Didn't even know what I was talking about. So, yeah. So I guess I need to be a little more cautious, a little more careful, a little less revealing for this stuff right here. So, blump, 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 blump. Podcast is up. The guys can put up the links for you. This is all the audio version. It's up everywhere. And tomorrow or the next day, the video portion of this. Yeah, we keep the video cameras rolling. We edit all that together. Then you guys can watch. Two Bear is the one who's doing this. Two Bear says you got to do that. It's fun to go back and watch the inflections of the face and the expressions while they go. I didn't think you guys would be interested in that, but you guys actually are, and you give out some cool comments too. So yeah, we're going to keep a little more work for us, but we'll keep trying to do it. All right. For those of you that keep texting me, the Christmas ornaments aren't available yet. The Christmas ornaments, there's like 3 or 4 that GenX Mom makes herself. They're going to be available November 1st. We'll announce it. You send a link. They'll be on the website. They're only going to be available for a certain time. Now, we're going to make as many as you guys want. You can order 10. You can order 3. Give some to your friends. Staple one to your doghouse outside. Make Tiger look at it. But I'm just telling you that after it's over, don't go, oh my God, I'm leaving. No. We're not doing stuff to put stuff out for money and for profit and all that. If we make a couple bucks on this stuff for GenX Mom, great. Let her do her hobbies. But we don't just keep things up on the website forever just for the sake of selling it. So if you want a Christmas ornament, pay attention. Cash in your aluminum cans right now. All right, go donate blood right now. Save your money in your left front pocket, bury it all the way to the bottom, hide it under your tater tots, just like Napoleon, and then when it comes time, dig them out and let's go. All right. So I'm almost done with the housekeeping. That's good stuff. So GenX Mom, she's not on camera yet. She's sleeping. She may not make it to tonight's stream. She might. She really wanted to. She even told me, she goes, I'm going to try to get there, but she was so exhausted today. Would you like to know why? Oh, good. Glad you're coming along with me on that one. So she took the granddaughter and the kids, some of them, to the pumpkin patch today. And this is a picture of Gen X mom and Gen Z kid. He was representing, wearing his GenX Talks. And this is a true story. This, I shit you not. This is what happened. My wife comes in. I'm still working, and she knows I'm not going. I got stuff I got to do here. So two things. She wanted a credit card, which she got. And then she goes, how do I look? She had on the jeans that drive me bananas. She had on the cowboy boots that drive me bananas. She had on her top and her glasses and a little bit of earring, a little bit of frosting on there. And I told her, don't go. You can't, you're looking that good. Some other dude's going to be looking at you. And she goes, well, you can either have other men looking at me or you can go. And I said, I can't go. You know I can't go. She goes, well, then it's on you. And she took my credit card and walked out the door. And that was the last I saw of her, last I heard from her, until she came home and I got a few pictures. So true story. She deliberately goes out looking the way she does on purpose just to make me jealous. Works every time. The kid, not so much. Couldn't give a shit. And there's Gen Z kid and his girlfriend. Now, you can tell that she has a genuine, beautiful smile looking at him. But look at his dumbass. Look at my dumbass son. He's like he's going to bust up laughing because he's like sat on a pumpkin stem or something and it's up his ass. That's what it looks like in the picture. He's looking at it like, oh my God, I can't believe what's going on. Look at her face. She's got the look of, oh my God, I can't believe I'm with you. What am I doing? Hey, if she wants to waste her time with my son, I say let her. That's it. He's never going to get this lucky again to get a girl like that. So, no, okay. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So when we're talking about being a member. We talked about Patreon. We talked about people being a member in green over here. If you see the names going by in the comment section and they're green, that means they're a member. If you're on Patreon, you're a member. If you're on the General's Lunchbox in Facebook, I think Lionheart is the moderator there tonight. Everybody on Facebook, when you see Lionheart OG, he is your designated staff member. He's your designated moderator. But in Facebook, there's a page called the General's Lunchbox. There is exclusive content nobody else gets to see. Are you listening? Good. One of the things you get to see, one of the things it's exclusive content. I do some writing from time to time. If you scroll all the way back, especially on Patreon, you got to go back 2 years. There are big, long stories. I don't know, something got in me today. I was listening to Boston. For those of you who read the story when I was talking about a vinyl from 1976, it was Boston. It was their first album. And I got stuck on More Than a Feeling. I had Alexa repeat the song, and I just kept writing. I don't know what it come out to be, about 6 or 7 little paragraphs. And this is the cover picture. It is only for members of the community. That's it. I haven't really, got to be honest, I didn't really get much of a response. The fews that I did, like, oh, okay, it's pretty cool. And I'm not looking for praise. I'm just looking to see if people read it. There's no counter. There's no counter. There's no views. I can't tell if anybody downloaded it, looked at it, read it, unless there's a comment. So it just didn't look like there was a lot of interest. This is part 1, but if people found it interesting, I wouldn't mind writing a part 2. I kind of dig it. I just don't. What bothers me is when I write stuff is if people are so disinterested that it makes me feel like, fuck, why did I even bother writing that? No one, that didn't go anywhere. So, but it's not as big a deal as you think, because I've probably written thousands of things that no one has ever seen. I either crumple them up and throw them away, or they just sit there on my computer in a file because there's nobody to read them. I was in a mood, in a moment. It's all weird and complicated. But sometimes you guys like to see that stuff, so I thought I'd throw it out there, let you know. Okay, so I want to get to. I kind of want to get to the heart of the program here. Which is, it's going to be fun. It's going to be, it's very different. This is settle in. You guys need to settle in. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about, I was really, really, really counting on my wife being here. Just because it's not a conversation you can have with a kid. It's a conversation you have to have with someone who's lived a little bit and had some experiences. But I'm going to play it for you guys, and I'm going to talk about it briefly. I can't find the truth about what we're going to talk about. I can't find the truth on the topic unless I get to the bottom of the glass. The truth is at the bottom of the glass. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to drink. I don't like alcohol, and I certainly don't like whiskey. But I know the rules. If I don't get to the bottom of the glass, I can't find the truth. The truth is at the bottom of the glass. How many times you guys been in a bar and people are kind of reserved and they're quiet until they drink and drink and drink, and finally they get to the bottom of the right glass and some dude stands up in the bar and starts spouting his goddamn government and religion and aliens are in Area 51. The truth comes out. Does it not? The truth comes out, but you got to get to the bottom of the glass before you can get to the truth. We all know that's the rule. We're born and bred in America, so I don't want to drink this. But I am going to drink it for you guys because I'm going to get to the bottom of the glass. I'm going to get to the truth, and then we can talk. We can have a rational conversation. But you got to drink with me. All right. Oh, there was something in the sheets over here. Let me read an orange one first. Mr. Flibble, $30, trim a whole screen orange. Hey, Gen Z kid, take your young lady friend out for dinner tonight. How about we just give her the money, let her go where she wants, and the evening will be much better if he's not there to ruin it. That's my fault, but what do I know? I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. Carl Gerard, $9.99, trim a whole screen yellow. He's our favorite Frenchman. Please write part 2. Was amazing. Now, see, that's the encouragement I like to see. Thank you, Carl. I know you're not, Carl's not just blowing smoke up my ass. He's legitimately saying, hey, it was kind of cool. Let's see where the story goes. Because I did leave it like there's to be clearly something's happening. So any of you that read it on Patreon or the General's Lunchbox on Facebook or in the YouTube community section, yes, there's a real community section. It's only for members. If you go looking, you can't see it unless you're a member. But if you see it and it's interesting, just drop a note and then I'll go. I could do some more stuff. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate you, my man. All right. Kid, is your mic on?
Yo, 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 yo.
There he is.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, he's not on camera, but he's
Look,
on my...
man, you were saying some hurtful things to me.
Well, you know what? I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but I really don't give a shit if I did. Rub some dirt on it and keep going.
You're going to rub some dirt on my heart?
Yeah, rub some dirt on your feelings, man. Let's go. Are you between the sheets? What do you got in there?
I got Wicked Widget Productions. Remember, for 18 months, the bus has gone over the cliff, and the ride has been amazing the last 18 months. I love you all, and stay safe. God bless you.
He's been around a long time. One of our greatest friends of the program.
Jan Motz, member for 5 months.
Well, it's Jan Motz.
It's Jan Motz.
You keep saying Jan. All right, go.
Member for 5 months. Mike Grissom, member for 9 months. He's an extra.
Anything else?
Sorry, I
dead air.
Cough button. Sorry. Ryan Holloway, member for 19 months. He's an extra. 19 months. Good Lord.
You know what? We don't have an icon for 24 months.
Do we not? Not yet?
We have the big red 1 for the year.
Yeah.
We don't have anything. We can't do something stupid. You can't have a big red 2. There's got to be something.
It can be a big yellow 2.
We got to be clever because
I will.
Got to do something good.
Will you trade a flux capacitor for an ornament? Said Kyle Carter, donating $2.
Flux capacitor for an ornament.
Only if it's working. Only if it's the cool one that runs off of trash.
Oh, the Mr. Fusion one.
Yeah, I don't want to do the.
Yeah, if the plutonium one, not interested.
Yeah.
But if it's the Mr. Fusion one, yeah, we could go with that. Black & Decker makes a great flux capacitor.
All right, that's all in the sheets.
All right.
Unless you want to say the upcoming events.
Oh, yeah. All right. So please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gen X Dad from GenX Talks, and what's coming up on Monday is normally a movie night. We do a movie night every Monday night. Lionheart and Trippy Pineapple put on a great movie in Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's just a bunch of chat rooms for old people. It's just got stuff in there. It's got food, a category for food, one for politics, one for religion. It's one's for music. And you just go in the room, you want to talk about stuff. There's a main chat area where everybody hangs out. Sometimes there's 5 people, sometimes there's 500. But the idea is it's just like-minded people. So if you put up the Discord link, everybody can go there. Don't go now. We're in the middle of a program, but later you can. But anyway, normally on Monday nights, we show a movie. No movie because, and this is where it gets weird. Monday is Gen Z Kid's birthday, and he wants to do a 12-hour show, or as long as he can go for a 12-hour show. But what he wants me to do is we do a world show in the morning. He wants me to do the world show from 10 to 11 and then continue another hour of talking about him and the kid and the stuff and the blah and the bling and the up and the down and the yin and the yang. All right, we could do that. And then after that, he wants to set in and start a marathon. Now, he's going to do some on his own. His mother's going to sit in for a certain part of it. I'll come back and sit in as a guest for part of it. He's got his girlfriend who's going to be part of it. His best friend Elias is going to be there. So it should be a very long, well-played, drawn-out program. You guys have seen those before. We don't do them all the time, but every now and then, GenX Talks gears up. We pound about 7 5-hour energies. So, of course, that's 35 hours of nonstop fun and entertainment. That's going to start Monday right after the World Show. Kid, you're getting yelled at by Josh Maddox about the sheets.
Yeah, I know, because there's $50 from Slim Pickens over on Rumble saying, happy birthday, kid.
That is I think that's our first Rumble donation.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever had a Rumble. You write this down. That dude needs a trophy or a T-shirt or something. That's our first Rumble donation. Come on.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why he's yelling. He said, here's some money for the first water bill. And then Scott Harmon, 10 Canadian dollars to buy some fries for the CEO.
Wait a minute. If it's Canadian dollars, do they call them dollars? Do they have some Canadians have some weird name for their money?
I'm pretty sure it's still called dollars.
Okay, so they just
from
got
Mrs. Four.
It's called dollars, eh?
$50 from Mrs. Four. Happy 18th birthday, Eve, kid. We love you. Thank you, Mrs. Four. You know, it means so much to me, man. No, but seriously, Mrs. Four has been way too kind to me.
Way too kind to you.
Birthday gifts and donations. It's insane.
Mrs. Four Watton is probably, other than Mom, she's your biggest fan. She really is. She knows all the ins and outs of you and is always pulling for you.
Just
always.
Skip over Addie.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Four has got your back even when you're an asshole, and she'll tell you you're an asshole, and then she's always trying to get you in the right direction. She's got to be your biggest fan in here. I don't see Addie in here. Is Addie's name in green? Is your girlfriend in the comment section? Does she watch the live streams? Is she pulling for you? The big 0 N-O goose egg on that one. I love Addie, but I got to be real. All right, what else in the sheets? Clear them out, son.
It's called the Canadian dollar, by the way.
Okay, Canadian dollar.
Yeah. Johanna Trahan, thanks for all the great podcasts on Spotify. You make my workday go by far more smoothly. $10.
Now, see, that I dig hearing that people listen to the podcast. I don't like the part where my wife beats me up for an hour because that's the only place I allow it to happen. She rips the shit out of me for 1 hour on the audio podcast on Spotify and Apple and Google Podcasts. But I'm glad to know someone's listening. I'm glad to know that I'm not whoring myself out for nothing. Thank you. Anything else between the sheets?
Brad Baker said, for the F It Whiskey Fun, let's have a drink and enjoy the bus ride off the cliff. And he said, happy birthday to me.
Now, we have this is a problem here. Some people have said the show isn't quite what it used to be. The show doesn't have the vim and vigor, blah, 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 blah. But let's be fair. We have a new bus driver. Loud One has been driving this bus for over 2 years. Something happened, and he went off the rails. The bus crashed. The system went down. We had to reboot. And Christina Dvorak, she jumped in there and grabbed the steering wheel and took off. Now, is this her problem? Is she driving the bus in the wrong direction? Is she afraid to put that thing into 5th gear and put the pedal down? Is she afraid to drive with her foot in the carburetor? Because Loud One lived with his foot in the carburetor and just going like a mad dog. I'm not saying Christina isn't the girl. I'm just letting her know that we got to keep tabs on this stuff. If the way she's driving this bus isn't appropriate, we're going to have to vote her off the island. You know, tired of the bumper or something. I don't know. Do something. But I'm just letting you know that there's some concerns, so we got to watch out for that. All right. What did I miss over here? You did Josh. Thanks for you did Josh's. You did Brad Baker's. You got that one. Disney Mama Sammy Joe lies. Wow. Why did I have to read this one? Disney Mama Sammy Joe, the Sugar Mama lies. I did a rant on Rumble like 2 lives ago. I don't count. Wait a minute. I didn't say rant. We said a donation. Somebody gave a couple bucks of their hard-earned money. Just thank you for calling me handsome, Disney Mama Sammy Joe. I love you too. But let's get back to beating you up. Did you donate $1? Did you donate $5? We're talking about our first real donation over there. Now, Disney Mama Sammy Joe, listen, I'm pretty sure you didn't donate any money on Rumble. And I'll tell you why. YouTube's down here, Facebook's here, and Rumble's up here. Can you reach this high? Can you? Because you're only 4'3", and when you hold a broom in your hand, you can only reach 5'2". Don't lie. Don't tell us all that you pressed the button way up here on Rumble. Sammy Joe, we all love you, but we all know how tall you are, okay? I mean, you can run under these desks right now without even ducking. We know. We got it. And we still love you. But don't pretend you're something that you're not. I mean, I'm trying to keep it real here.
I got one more.
All right, go ahead, kid. What do you got?
Noel sent $2 for the $2 Lady of Loose Ethics. Or as I like to say, the $2 Woman of the Street. Or the $2 wench.
Wait a minute. What 3 things did you just say? It's supposed to be $2 whore.
$2 Lady of Loose Ethics.
$2 Lady
Woman
of Loose Ethics. Okay, go.
$2 Woman of the Streets.
$2 Woman of the Street. All right.
$2 wench.
What is wrong with just saying $2 whore? Why is this such a...
The $2 chippy.
You know what we haven't done in a while? Just so you guys know, I'm a little frustrated in life. I don't mean to get too personal, but my wife has been very distant from me lately. I'm getting a little bound up. Not as much badonkadonk going on. So any unallocated funds tonight, they're not going to the whiskey fund. They're going to the Singapore hooker fund. And I'm taking it in with stride. I'm just letting you guys know right now. Any money that you want to give to me is going towards the Singapore Hooker Fund. And if you don't know what that means, you do not have any scars on your back that will never heal. To which I do, just so you know. All right. Disney Mama Sammy Joe chimed in again. A rant is a donation, and it was $10, and I subscribed. And I can jump pretty high, sir. Yeah, we saw you jump at the GenX Talks barbecue. You jumped one time. You came back down, your boobs went up and hit you in the face, knocked you the fuck out. You were out for about half an hour. But you know what? We warned you. You didn't listen because you were drinking. But I love you, and I understand. All right, moving on. Da-doom, 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 da-doom. All right, so let's see. There was stuff. Okay, let's get back to the serious nature of the program. I wish I could have written down who sent it. I really should have paid homage to who sent me this. On the website, GenXTalks.com is everything. A link to everything everywhere at all times, and a schedule that we try to keep up as much as we can every couple of days. But there's also a chat in there. Luckily, we figured out a way to make it go to my phone so I don't miss it. For the first year, there was messages in there we didn't even know. We didn't know that there was a thing for that. We figured it out. I'm answering the messages, but someone sent me a link. Now, let's be fair. We get 30, 40 links before noon every day. Look at this. Visualize that. Go comment on this. Show your dad that. I got you. Love you guys. We try to get through as many of them as we can. We try to comment back as much as we can. I don't usually get one through the website. That's a rare thing. That was a way to get my attention. You really want to get my attention? Go to the chat on the website, GenXTalks.com, because it bleeps on my phone, and there's not a lot in there, so I get it. I want to tell you that we've all seen short videos, we've seen TikToks, we've seen Reels. And some of them we think are funny, some are kind of deep, some are interesting. How many of them really grab you? And I guess the litmus test for that would be, how many times do you scroll back through it and go, no, I want to watch that again? Excuse me for 1 second, I got to pour another drink. How many times do we really look at something 3, 4, 5 times? This one grabbed me. Now, this is the heart of the program where I need you to settle in. All right? Let's take a little time right now. Pay attention. I'll give you a minute. I'm going to take a drink. Give you a minute here. Put the cat out. Draw the blinds closed. Pour yourself another drink. Crack open another can. Sit back in your chair. Settle in. All right? To me, this is important. Therefore, by extension, it's automatically supposed to be important to you. Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it's supposed to be. Good. Glad you're coming along with me on that thought. On my matters of self-importance and how I make myself feel good, because I have to tell myself those things or I can't continue. All right. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm going to begin to expound. Now, I don't know how many drinks I've had, but we're climbing up there a little bit. This is the part where about 3 or 4 more of these Mrs. 4, she's been writing down notes in her yellow pad for years. This is where she flips through and brings up stuff that she wants me to say, because loose lips sink ships, as they say, and we're getting there. But then this is where it's going to get busy on Facebook and Rumble and YouTube. I am asking your opinion. The problem is what we're talking about could be paragraphs. Please don't write a paragraph. If you got some input, give it a couple sentences, man. I really want to hear from you. I just can't read paragraphs right now. I can't stop the program and read a book. I can't read a chapter. I can't read a paragraph. All right? Do we now have the ground rules set? Good. Glad you're coming along with me on that too. I know this is a lot of giving from you guys. There's a lot of things you guys have to do. I do apologize. I'm going to give back to the community right now. Training wheels are a must.
Hey,
okay.
Dave,
Yeah,
you
go
think
ahead.
it's almost time to bring in the cavalry?
Didn't I just say I was about to do something important?
Yeah.
Then no, it is not time. Now, I want to talk real quick, and you're going to give. We may go long tonight. We're going to go a little bit long tonight. Think about the founding fathers. Think about that time period. Think about when things were being written from the Declaration of Independence all the way to the Constitution, the amendment. Think about that time period. Okay, kind of gear yourself to that. And I'm going to get to a point here, so relax. I didn't really realize until what this guy's video, 1 minute video, this guy had a 1 minute video that grabbed me, but I didn't really realize that they wrote things back in their time assuming certain fundamentals. They wrote things assuming we would all agree that all men are created equal and they've all got rights. They just assumed that was a given. They used terminology in all these things they wrote. They wrote down things like, well, these are God-given rights, and we all know that. These are things that we all get to, and we all know, we all can agree. There's a common ground. There's God-given rights. There's things bestowed upon us by our Creator. These were said in passing. They didn't make a big deal to say, now we all voted and God said we all get, they said these things almost like nonchalant, like, well, we all know that all men are created equal, so let's go into this. We all assume that we all know God is governing, so let's go. And they said things and they wrote things assuming that no matter which side of the political aisle you were on, we all had a basic fundamental truth and belief system that we could follow of some sort. Just like when you say, well, thou shalt not murder. Okay, I think every religion would say that's a given. I think we could all agree that's a common denominator, right? You shouldn't do that. You should not murder. You should not rape. I think we can all agree on that. You shouldn't steal your neighbor's stuff. I think we can all agree on that. They wrote things at their time in history where they just assumed some basic fundamentals. Okay? That is the premise of where I got drawn in today by what this guy said. Now, I'm going to play it once. I might be able to play it twice for you, but I want you guys to listen to something. Turn your speakers up. Quit talking. Okay, quit yelling at your dog. Tell your kids to shut up for 5 seconds, because this... And I don't play. How much do I play videos for you? I never do this. Very rare, but this was important. Okay, let me try to find that for you. Don't release be weekends from my team, mom and dad. Here comes for me. All right, I think this is it, and I think the volume should work. So just listen. I'll play it once, and then we'll go from there.
I'm going to say something very radical and difficult to say in Tennessee, of all places. There are freedoms afforded to Americans that are too radical and too great and too daring without the insulation of Christianity. The First and Second Amendments don't work unless everyone's Christian. They don't work, and they're not working. You can't give crazy atheists guns. You can't let shameless liars say whatever they want about other people in public without consequence. There's a sort of unwritten rule that sits behind everything in America, and it is that these are all the things you get to do because we know that you can handle it. We know that you can be trusted with this because you love God, because you respect life, because you won't take other people's lives, because you'll keep your word. Without that, the First and Second Amendments become a sort of license to abuse one another or to kill one another. They become too much freedom, because there is such a thing.
Did you guys get that? Do you want me to play that one more time? Let me do it one more time. Just listen one more time.
I'm going to say something very radical and difficult to say in Tennessee, of all places. There are freedoms afforded to Americans that are too radical and too great and too daring without the insulation of Christianity. The First and Second Amendments don't work unless everyone's Christian. They don't work, and they're not working. You can't give crazy atheists guns. You can't let shameless liars say whatever they want about other people in public without consequence. There's a sort of unwritten rule that sits behind everything in America, and it is that these are all the things you get to do because we know that you can handle it. We know that you can be trusted with this because you love God, because you respect life, because you won't take other people's lives, because you'll keep your word. Without that, the First and Second Amendments become a sort of license to abuse one another or to kill one another. They become too much freedom, because there is such a thing.
I don't know if that grabbed you the way it grabbed me. Now, I get the part about guns and you don't want to give. I don't agree. I don't know that I agree with atheists can't have guns. I don't think atheists are any more violent or less violent one way or the other. But I guess you could make an argument. We could have a long discussion on that, and that's fine. But think about freedom of speech. Think about the First Amendment. Think about that being able to abuse each other with the First Amendment. Aren't we there? Isn't that exactly what happens now? Because you could just simply say anything, and as long as you go, well, I believe that's my opinion, I can say it if I want to. I have First Amendment, I can say what I want. You can literally lie and destroy the government. You can lie about gender. You can lie about science. You can lie about physics. You can lie about Israel and Hamas. You can lie about the homeless problem. You can lie about conservatives. They can lie about liberals. You can lie about Republicans. They can lie about Democrats. And there's nothing that can be done because you're protected. Now, thankfully, that doesn't happen with a gun. Thankfully, there's not like, well, I'm shooting them, they're shooting me. I get a gun, they get a gun, we get a gun, you get a gun. Nobody's doing that. Let's set that aside. But I thought about that. If they wrote that under the assumption that God was governing everyone's life to some degree. They wrote it at a time when they said, all right, well, everybody can have freedom of speech. You're going to have assholes and you're going to have fuck-ups. They did back in their day. They had some very unscrupulous individuals, believe me. I've done a little homework on the revolutionary times, and shortly thereafter, there was some very, very big assholes to rival the assholes that we see today. But in the end, they wrote things, it appears that they wrote things assuming that the governing authority that we would all abide by was God. It's like, well, we're going to give them guns, but it's going to be okay because God is running their life. We may have a few things that go off the road, but basically God's in control and they're going to abide by. So give them the guns. Same with free speech. Well, let them say whatever they want because nobody's going to go completely off the rails and fuck up this whole thing. You know, that would be going against their religion. That would be going against God. You can't lie 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without having your conscience weighing on you without the guilt of the Lord pushing on you a little bit. That's the way they viewed it. Now, I haven't had too much time to process all this. I got this video a couple hours before we went live tonight, but it struck me that there was some absolute truth to what this guy was saying, that the circumstances in which they wrote this allowed them some latitude because they felt that we were all going to be accountable beyond what they were writing. What did he say in that video? He says, hey, the First and Second Amendments don't work if you don't love God. The First and Second Amendments don't work if you don't believe in a higher authority governing what you do. Now, that's the way they wrote it. I'm not advocating religion one way or the other, am I? I'm pointing out that they thought, don't worry, no matter how we do this, and there's ways to fix what we're doing, but there's a deity that's going to answer, that we're all going to be, we can come to Sunday and figure shit out. That's what it seems like. Because we always have trouble in our country, in the United States, we always have trouble with the Second Amendment. We always have trouble with people hiding behind the First Amendment in all sorts of ways. And we can't shut people down. We can't shut people up, even when out of their mouth is coming the most stupid, nonsensical things, because we have the First Amendment. And since we all agree that we don't want to get rid of the First Amendment, we don't want to modify the First Amendment, we love the Constitution and we love America, we love the flag, we can't modify or change or restricting those things. Why would they do this? Because they thought there was a higher authority, a little bit higher power, something else kind of governing over that. It doesn't work without that. I got to believe he's a little bit right. Now, right or wrong, I got to believe that's the case. Right or wrong, I got to believe that they wrote that with the intent of being the framework under something else. It's just food for thought, all right? Hey, kid, can you read the staff thread? What is going on? Are we fucking up over here?
Let me check.
Because there's a lot going on. You should be on that right now. I'm not trying to change topics, but I was kind of done with that one for a minute.
Just getting some backlash for the topic, is all.
Backlash for the topic?
Yeah. Some people are not liking it.
You don't like the fucking topic that we're just talking about? Hold on. There's people that don't like that we're describing what might have been the state of mind when they wrote this shit. I'm not advocating God one way or the other. I'm not advocating religion one way or the other. I'm just expressing what might have been going through their minds when they wrote this thing. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to talk about what was state of mind. I bet if they were on drugs, you'd want to know. If there was proof that John Hancock was on cocaine, that'd be okay to talk about. That'd be his state of mind. But if I told you he was high on religion, I can't talk about that. I don't even know who's complaining and what channel you're on, but fucking leave. We're just having a neutral conversation about when the Constitution was written and how it affects. I even said it. Republicans lie about Democrats and liberals lie about conservatives. I've been very down the road middle, and somehow you guys are partisan. You're biased. You're full of shit. Leave. Fucking hang up. Just go. If you can't be part of a rational conversation, get the fuck out. This is common sense. This is nuts and bolts conversation. We're just talking about how they might have written these things, these First and Second Amendments, and what their state of mind might have been in, and how they thought. And it made me think. If it doesn't make you think, if you're just going to gripe and complain, shut the fuck up and just go. Nobody wants you here. We're just having a rational discussion. You can be on one side of the discussion or the other. All I'm doing is presenting some middle ground that some dude showed me something today that I observed, and I'm just telling you I observed it, and you're fucking going sideways? Are you out of your goddamn mind? I don't know. Kid, if they're taking it the wrong way, then fuck. I'm just talking about something observational. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, could they have thought this way? Could they have written it this way? Could they have counted on some sort of God? Could it? That's all I'm saying. God damn it. I don't know. If I'm getting this wrong, the kid just told me, I just asked what was between the sheets, and the kid just told me that some people are taking this the wrong way. Fuck. I don't know what else I can do but present stuff down the middle, and then if you guys don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't fucking have any idea. We're just talking here. We're having a conversation. Fucking crybabies. All right. So that's all. I just thought, I thought that guy's video was very powerful. At least it was for me. It made me think a little bit beyond the perspective that I normally have. I just went the other way with it. So that's all I was thinking. just trying to figure out what might have gone on and thought, yeah, it's a pretty good application. And I promise you it has nothing to do with the fact that he was giving that talk from Tennessee. Otherwise, I would have started with everybody who lives in Tennessee. This is one of your guys. I didn't start that way. I left it out. All right. So what I want to do right now, go smoke a toad, $2 General. The kid misunderstood. We love the topic. Smicky, I know there's people that do. He didn't say everybody. He didn't say everybody on every platform. He made it sound to me like some people were taking it wrong. Now, if he got it wrong, go fucking yell at him. I can only go, I can't read all the platforms. I can't even read this one. I'm talking here. I can't read there. You guys know the rules. If I'm telling a story here, I don't know what's going on. I rely on the sheets. What you guys are, Lionheart's putting stuff in from Facebook. Josh Maddox is putting stuff in from Rumble, and then kids putting stuff. If there's people that are upset, those are the ones I'm talking about. If 90% of you are on board, I'm not yelling at you. I love you guys. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, kid, go ahead and get the guests in here. I'm going to turn off the microphones for just a couple minutes. I'm going to put it on Be Right Back. We're going to bring in some people and sit at some cameras and microphones, and I want to have a small discussion just on kind of along the lines of what we were talking about, but we're going to bring in another generation of kids, and we're going to ask them their perspective, and I'm going to drill them a little bit on what they think and feel about some of the basic fundamental things. And you guys are going to get an accurate representation of what other generations think about things that you and I talk about all the time. All right, I'm going to put you on Be Right Back. That means run to the bathroom, okay? Answer your emails, let your dog out, whatever you got to go do. It's only going to be for a couple minutes. Maybe you can knock out a quickie, a badonkadonk, I don't know. But you got to come back here in about 2 minutes, all right? I got to go. I'm turning it on, and that's it. Here we go. Okay, see, that wasn't too long. All right, come on, zip up your pants, get back on the couch, let's go. We got stuff to talk about here. Again, I'm going to start with a drink, but we're going to start with something because, as you can imagine, I yelled at the kid. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Did you fuck up this thing or not? He has a little bit of an explanation. Don't get upset, moderators, because he might lean into you a little bit, just so you know. Stand by. Got to have a drink. We're transitioning. No transition is complete without alcohol. Or at least that's the way I feel. All right, so let me see if this is going to work first. The first one here. Bump, bump, bump. Nope, that one didn't work. There we go. Look who's on there. The kid and Addie, Gen Z kid and his girlfriend. Now, if you got something to say before we begin, if you have something to talk about this other thing where I'm yelling at people because they're fucking dicking with me about what I'm talking about and the sheets and what platform people were saying, clear it up right now.
So you told me to check staff thread. Go to the staff thread.
Wait a second. Okay, now you're on. Go.
So you tell me to go to the staff thread.
Yeah.
So I check the staff thread, and I see screenshots of Facebook. People aren't, super.
Because it sounded like the staff was saying that I'm doing something wrong.
And then somebody on staff, I don't remember who sent the message. It said there's some backlash on the topic. So I told you that. I was like, there's some people, giving you some backlash on the topic.
Right.
That makes sense with anything. And then everybody on YouTube was like, kid, you're totally messing it up. Everybody's cool here. I don't know what you're talking about. YouTube. You don't talk for everybody.
They don't. What you should be saying right now is, YouTube, can you read what's going on Facebook?
Exactly. It's like, come on, dude. Stop saying I got it wrong when I'm just the messenger, man.
Well, apparently everybody's pissed at you for fucking this up. And now they're mad at me like, well, the general's really got this wrong. First of all, I didn't get shit wrong. I was told that a lot of people on some of the platforms were complaining about and then in the break, someone said, oh, you can't talk about religion. Why not? Don't bring religion into this. Don't talk about religion. You guys realize that I get that every fucking live stream? There's always some boneheads out there who go, you talked about basketball. I know you spent 10 minutes on basketball, General, but we don't all like sports. So what the fuck, man? Don't bring sports into it. Guess what? There's also some asshole who goes, I don't know why you're talking politics. You should keep politics out of this. We don't like politics, all right? Then there's some asshole who comes in and goes, you shouldn't talk about, what else we got? Was it politics? It's religion. Don't bring sports. You know what? If I listened to everybody, there wouldn't be anything to talk about.
What are you yapping about?
When I talk about sports, some people aren't going to like it.
Dad, what are you yapping about?
I'm yapping about people that complain about the program and tell me don't talk about religion. Don't talk about sports. Don't talk about politics. We don't all like, what are the topics that we all would get along with? You guys, what? Do you realize if I listen to everybody tell me don't talk about this, don't talk about that, if I actually did what you said, the only thing we could all talk about was underwater basket weaving. That's it. We talk about a video camera of some dude in a scuba desk weaving a basket underwater because that's the only thing that doesn't offend everybody. Now, Two Bear is going to come along and go, I don't like underwater basket weaving. Don't talk about it. Fuck you, Two Bear.
Why do we have the guests?
Oh, the guests. We don't have guests. We just have you and Addie on.
Yeah.
So now we'll go back to me. Anyway. What we do have is Gen Z Kid has his girlfriend and two of his better friends over. They're on camera. They're on mic. We're going to try to train them to lean in, talk, and be clear. But I'm going to ask this generation. I'm going to introduce them. I'll let them introduce themselves. If they want to use their names, they can. If they don't, that's fine. But I'm going to ask some questions that should show all of us. I'm not trying to expose the education system. No. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you guys what they think, what they feel, what they've heard, not collectively just from their school, but from their parents, from their churches, from their friends. This kind of gives you a picture of where they're at with stuff. All right. We'll go around the room. I'll try to keep it light. I'll try to keep it moving. But this is different. We don't normally do this. But let me go to picture screen number 4 as the kid. There we go. Now, what's going to happen here? You can look at me or you can look at the camera, whichever way you want. So let's start over here. Your name is?
Addie.
And how are you part of this crew?
Because I'm dating the kid.
You're dating the kid. Boy, I got to question your judgment, just so you know. And we have Gen Z Kid, who you already know. He's a little bit further out on the camera, but his mic works too. Now, over here with the kid with the fucking weird hair in 12 different colors, I'm not sure what you're going for here. Introduce yourself whatever way you want to.
Hello. It's my first time actually speaking like this. My name is Austin, and I'm best friends with the kid.
Yeah.
We've been kids since kindergarten, and that's how far back we go.
All right, real quick. Do I like him?
Yes.
That's one of the kids.
You've met him. You've met him for the first time 4 times.
I've met him. Okay, so I do like him.
Yes.
Because there's kids that come over and I'm like, do I like this kid? And then mom whispers in my ear, goes, you don't really like that kid. So I got to know. All right. And the hippie with the hair, the stash, the hat.
From the gaming stream.
From the gaming stream stuff. Introduce yourself.
My name is Isaac.
God, dude, I literally went over there and fixed him to like talk into the mic. And he goes,
Now, where's your camera? Just so you know.
Right here.
There you go. Talk to the audience. There you go.
My name is Isaac, and I've known the kid since high school.
Yeah.
And it'll be 4 years since me and the kid have known each other.
All right. So we got a well-rounded group of idiot children here, all Generation Z. They don't know shit. They've been on this planet 15 minutes compared to the rest of us, but they perhaps have some hidden knowledge that we don't know about. So I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to ask you a question. You could just give a quick one-word answer, thumbs up, thumbs down, or you can elaborate with a sentence or two. But if you get stuck on something too long, I'm going to scream and yell and throw shit at you.
I'd like to know that. I'd like everybody to know Isaac's first language is not English. So
Isaac's first language is your first language is not English?
I mix up my languages with Spanish and English, so I kind of combine the both languages.
yeah.
I wouldn't know if you hadn't said something. I wouldn't have known. He speaks perfect English for me. No accent. He seems fine.
You wait till he gets yapping. He'll
Does he make mistakes?
yeah. He won't say like a word in Spanish. He'll say like, "I had fun. Do the thing." Like he won't say "ing" on a word, or like he'll mess up grammar.
Okay, but let's be fair. If he says it that way, that could easily be mistaken for hillbilly, because hillbillies talk that way. They're not necessarily Spanish. They could be those incomplete sentences. You could have a third grade education and be treated the same way. So it will either assume you're Spanish or dumb, one of the two. All right, just so you know. Yep. All right, so let's start with Austin. Austin, I want you to tell me whether the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment, to own a gun is a good thing or a bad thing.
I believe that the right to bear arms is a good thing. I think everybody should be able to have a firearm to keep themselves safe because you don't know what's going out along in the world. But I think there should be precautions against certain people because you don't know necessarily who's going to be owning a gun. A lot of people in my family own guns, so that's why I believe that people should have the right to bear arms.
All right. Isaac, what do you think? Guns. And it's just an opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. What do you think?
I honestly think that we should have the rights to own guns. However, with how our society is handing guns to people, it's a written exam which doesn't fully evaluate whether someone is psychologically able to hold it. However, I do believe that we should be able to own guns.
So both of you sort of think that we should have guns, but if you're a fucked up individual, we need to have a way to determine that, right?
Yes.
I mean, we don't want people going in and killing kids in schools, right? Addie, what do you think? Guns, yes or no? Yay or nay?
I would like to say guns, yes, because my family has guns and it helps keep us safe. So I'm also insulted that you called me an idiot, but we're going to look past that.
Idiot? What do you mean? Oh, for dating him?
No,
What?
you just referred to me as an idiot.
When? When did I refer to her as an idiot? I would never do that. When did I do that? Did I?
Josh remembers. He was defending me.
Josh, okay, first of all, Josh is from New Jersey.
Josh is my friend.
Josh is, okay, I know you met Josh, your friend, okay, Josh has issues. If Josh was defending you, chances are he didn't take his correct medication tonight, all right? So we need to move on from that. Kid, guns, yes or no?
Yay.
All right, so we got that one. Now I'm going to move on to something I don't want to beat around the bush here. I don't want to draw this out. So, Austin, we're going to go to you, all right? Austin, I need to know what you feel about pronouns. Now, it's a two-part question. It's a big thing in the United States right now. I want you to tell me, should people be allowed to pick their own gender, pick their own pronouns? That's part one. Part two is, should they be able to force everyone else to abide by that? Go ahead. What do you think there, Austin? Give me your opinion.
So, answering the first part, yes, I believe that people should be able to pick their own pronouns, pick their own gender, if that's how they feel and if that's how they're comfortable with being called. But I don't believe that people should force it on other people. There's a big difference between wanting to be something and forcing it on everybody else. This is how I describe it. You see a gay person, yes, and they're a nice gay person. They don't make it their entire personality. There's a difference between somebody trying to make it their personality because it's a trend and because they actually legitimately feel that way. So I think that pronouns are fine and that they should be used, but only if they're not being forced on other people.
So, in other words, if someone came in here and said, I specifically, my name is Joe, but I want to be called they. If I'm going to sit with them, can I just call them Joe? Can I say to them, look, I'm not down with the they thing. That's cool for you, but I'm not doing it. Where do you draw the line? Do I have to say they, or can I just say Joe? Because now you might be offending my sensibilities by forcing me to use the word they. Where does your generation draw that line, that distinction?
That depends on the person, because there's people that said like, yeah, you can use my name, or like, no, I don't want it to be this. I am fine with anything. Austin, he, they, she, they, whatever you want to call me. I'm fine with anything, and that's just me. But a lot of people, like, those are the bad people. That
I thought of something you said right there where you made a good point. You brought up, you touched on it where you said people make it their personality. Like if someone comes up and describes me, or they ask me to describe myself, they say, hey, how do you describe yourself? I don't know. I'm a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. I got a cool wife and I got 8 kids. All right. That's the beginning of describing me, right? But when you hit some of these certain people, you know what they say? The first thing out of their mouth, I am a transgender this, and I prefer the pronoun that. That becomes the first thing they say. Why does that define somebody? Why is that the first words out of your mouth? That's your personality? Like you said, that's your personality? That's who you are? Is that? I'm way more things than the names you're going to call me. All right. Isaac.
So
same question.
So with the topic of choosing your own pronouns, I believe that you should be able to say who you are and what you feel comfortable with. However, when you begin forcing it down to other people, I feel like that's where it's a drawn line of being okay with pronouns and where it's not being forced or it's not being okay. Because I've seen clips of people teaching their kids, forcing kids saying that they should be a they, them, or some other pronoun. But they haven't even fully developed or even know who they are as a person. So how are you going to define a person of what their gender is if they don't even know who they are?
That's a very good point. How can these kids be taught by their parents, and an 8-year-old can't stand up and go, you'll call me they, you'll call me they don't even know yet. You're right. They haven't developed yet. They don't know their own choice. That's a good point. Now, what if, going along with just what you said, if a person comes out, and I'm just speaking for me, if I come up and say, well, I'm just a regular dude, I call this and call that, you can call me by my first name, you can call me Mr. This or whatever you want. I'm pretty agreeable. I'm just trying to say these are some choices here. How come that gives the person on the other side of the conversation the freedom to choose? It's like, well, do you feel it's right for me to say, if I said, okay, don't call me by my first name. Don't call me Mr. So-and-so, my last name. You will call me they, or we can't talk. Now, I'm imposing upon you how you're going to speak right now. Is that fair? Can I do that?
I feel like if you're forcing it upon a person, it kind of gets a little iffy, because I feel like when you're talking with a person, you're getting to know them for who they are, not for what their gender is. So when you're making them force you say, oh, they are they, and instead of just like hearing who they are as a person, because you can meet someone that can simply forget what your pronouns is, but they're a really amazing person. However, if you're just going to cut them off based on just one misinterpretation on...
And they do.
Yeah.
You're right. They do. They cut you off, go, whoa, 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 we're done talking here. You didn't use the right pronoun. You're an asshole, and I'm done. You're right. They do that. I think you're right. I think you're missing the entire person. You're missing who they are because of one word in there. Addie, what are you thinking about that? What do you think about pronouns and forcing people to use them?
Okay. So I think that pronouns in general, pronouns in general, like having a preference of what you'd prefer to be called, that's not a bad thing. But when it's becoming like, unless someone is out like, oh no, you're like, you have to be this or whatever, like unless someone's like outright discriminating against you, you shouldn't be attacking them if they mess up. Like I have a friend who prefers to go by they, them or whatever. And there are many times where I like actively like slip up and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, and they're very sweet and they're like, oh, it's okay. So
but what if I told whatever your friend is, whatever that person is, whoever that person, not whatever, whoever, say that wrong, but whoever that person is, what if I were there and I say, call them by their name, and they look at me and say, no, excuse me, politely, they say, I'm sorry, you called me by my name. I prefer to be called they, them. What if I were to say, yeah, I'm really not comfortable doing that? Because that's not freedom of speech. That is compelled speech. You are now telling me what I'm allowed to say. What if I just politely said to that person, and I know you're going to guess how they would reply, or any person would reply, but what if I just said, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable with the he, she, they, them. That's just that bothers me. That offends me. I'm not comfortable. I'd rather just call you your name.
Then I think that it's up to them on how they want to handle it. Like if they want to just deal with it and it's fine or whatever, or they just have the choice to leave. It's not really something you can control beyond that point.
But one of the arguments that people have gotten into on this is they say, you don't mind calling people by a nickname. If someone comes up and says, oh, this is Isaac, but his name is Shorty, or whatever nickname they gave him, you don't mind calling, hey, Shorty, how's it going? You don't mind doing that. So if you're willing to call someone by a nickname, why can't you call them they, them? Well, first of all, and I want to I've thought about this a little bit. First of all, most nicknames aren't given to themselves by the person. You don't nickname yourself Shorty. You don't nickname yourself anything and then walk out and go, I've nicknamed myself this and I will be that. Normally nicknames are given by your friends. That's one aspect to think about it, because the nickname thing gets brought up all the time. Mm-hmm. But they say, well, if you're willing to call someone by a nickname, why aren't you willing to call someone they, them? Because that doesn't make sense. If someone is, 4 feet tall, it makes sense nicknaming them Shorty. But if there's a person if one person is standing in front of me, it does not make sense to call them they, them. There's no plural person. There's not two of them standing there. I don't care how drunk I get. There's not two of you. So now you come down to, do your personal rights of wanting to be called they, them trump my personal rights of you can't tell me what the fuck to say. You're upset and hurt and offended that I'm not calling you they, them. Well, I'm hurt and offended and upset. You're making me do it. Which personal rights, which freedoms of speech win?
I think that personally, that's a gray area that I can't necessarily say which one is right or wrong. Because you're right. One, you could take that and then people would be like, oh, well, is this person's right? Oh, is this person's right? There really is no right or wrong in my eyes on who is more correct.
Right.
It's more just that person, rather than fighting you about it, should just leave.
And here's what I see happening more often than not. Good people, reasonable people, succumb, give in. It's all right, I don't really care about it. I'll call you they, them. I don't care. No, maybe that's a good personal choice. If it's not that big a deal, if it's not a hill you want to die on, then just call them what they want and get on with it. But at the same time, you're emboldening them to keep doing that to the next person and the next person. And eventually you're going to run into someone who stands their ground and says, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't want to do that. Then it becomes your personal rights versus theirs, your freedom of speech versus, and it's not even freedom of speech. You're compelling someone. Kid, what do you think? Weigh in on that.
All right.
Well, I think that pronouns are, in a sense, you treat it like a nickname. That's what I was thinking before you brought it up. And you pretty much said what I was thinking and how I kind of, when I think about a topic, I play both sides. I argue against myself to know what somebody would say to me and how I would counteract it. It's a great way to get through these tough topics when you want to form your own opinion. And honestly, I like to call people by their pronouns, make them feel comfortable, do their own thing. Takes no time out of my day. Doesn't make me uncomfortable to say it.
Yeah.
It's their choice.
Okay.
But if somebody says it wrong and you correct them, but they continue to say it wrong, or they say it wrong and you don't correct them, it's the same level as someone just insulting you or making a joke about you, like saying, "Oh, Austin, you're super short," like 'cause he is. But you know, it's on that same level. It's not dastardly affecting your emotional health. They called you a different pronoun.
But okay, so that's how you feel on your side of the discussion. It seems to me, and maybe I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert, it seems to me that while you're being rational and like, okay, it's no big deal, you've insulted, we can fight, we can do, it seems on their side, they're angry, they're demanding, and they want to, there's a line drawn in the sand, and you will comply. That's what it seems like.
I don't like the fact that people would, like, you'd want to force somebody to call you something, because I kind of treat it like I have a very weird name.
Yeah.
People mess it up all the time.
All the time.
Even they mess up my nickname whenever I give it to them. So when they mess it up again, I don't care. It's not that bad. As long as I know.
Why aren't you drawing a line in the sand like these people? Why aren't you demanding the respect? Why aren't you demanding and compelling them to get your name right?
And going back to what Austin said, the people that are demanding that respect, it's their only personality trait. It's the one thing, the one hill they can die on.
Well said. Austin, I'm going to go back to you real quick here.
Oh, wait. We have one nickname in the house.
We do?
Isaac.
Oh,
Yep.
His real name's William.
Wait a second. Hold on. His name isn't Isaac?
No, his real name's William.
Then why do we call him Isaac? I've been calling him Isaac every time he comes over. Who the fuck made up Isaac?
It's the most stupidest
Are you
reason.
going to die on an altar at the hands of Abraham? Because I'll do it if that's what it takes. How did you get Isaac?
It's the most stupidest reason. So, in the hospital, my original name was supposed to be Isaac. However, when they gave my dad the paperwork, he realized, no, I don't want his name to be Isaac. I want it to be the same name as me. So it's like, all right, birth certificate, William Isaac Lazaro.
So it's his middle name.
So, okay, all right. That's a little better. I thought you guys just made up a name out of nowhere.
No.
All right.
Well, the funny thing is, I met him at like one of those freshman bashes, like, you know, they kind of like tour you around high school real fast. It's called Link Crew for us, and I met him there, and he said his name was William. Like, so I write down his number in my phone as William, and then I get to know him. You know, I'm talking at school, and I realize his name's Isaac. So I'm like, oh, Isaac, what's up? What's going on? Months later, I go to call Isaac. There is no number in my phone for Isaac. I'm like, why can't I text Isaac? Because I only messaged him on like Instagram or something, but I wanted to call him. And I was like, oh my God, why can't I not call him?
You know what's funny is that you know how you always tell me that this is one thing that the kid gets mad with. He gets really, really fucking mad about. I will change a password to something for the family. I will change Netflix, or I will change Disney, or I will change logging into YouTube or Facebook. And the kid, this happened about 2 weeks ago. He snapped out. He lost his shit because he goes, "What's the password?" And I told him the password. He goes, "Okay." He absolutely exploded. He goes, "Quit choosing passwords based on what you see around you. You pick a password on the movie you just got done watching. You pick a password like, that was a really interesting movie. I'm going to pick the name of the movie plus this number that I see on the lottery. Who won the lottery today?" And my kid absolutely lost his shit. He goes, "You got to quit doing that. You pick passwords based on the weirdest shit." You want to know what else? This will keep in tune with what you're saying about that kind of shit. It's a little bit funny. I put names in my phone based on what I think of someone.
Yeah.
If also big man, or, you know, cool cat with a Corvette. But then when I go back to find them, their name's not in there. Then I have to go remember what impressed me about the moment that we were talking. Yeah. And I have to try to figure out.
Or you go back through the messages and try to figure out what it was.
I can't figure it out.
One time,
it's tough shit.
He had like all of his contacts saved onto a Gmail.
Yeah.
And then I had to use that Gmail for something, so I put that Gmail on my phone.
Yeah.
And my iPhone just loaded up all these
So
contacts.
you got all my contacts.
So there's one dirty old man. That's a genuine contact.
That's a genuine contact.
Big man Dan. Like I don't understand. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, I remember you going to mom. You're like, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with dad?
There was one time you said, okay, I need you to call this guy because you're gonna go down to the shop and meet him.
Yeah.
And
Very serious moment.
Yeah, you sent me the number, so I check it. It's already in my phone. I'm like, oh, cool. It was that one guy on K Street. I was like, bro, who is this guy?
He's that one guy on K Street, man.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
It made no sense.
Hey, you got to go read the sheets?
Yes.
All right, you're on camera. Read the sheets. Do your thing,
Eddie, would you
baby.
like to read some of the sheets?
No, go all the way through them.
Me?
Yeah,
Want me to just go it.
I don't have the
Wow.
sheets. I can't.
Wow. No chance. No spotlight
No
for Addie. She's gonna
spotlight,
sit
no
here
nothing.
doing nothing. Wow.
You know what? Addie's job is to sit there and look pretty. Your job is to do your fucking job. Now read the sheets.
So
Right in the job.
You getting tired of looking pretty? Just sit there and shut up, Addie. That's all you got to do.
go smoke a toad. $2 for Jefferson's Jezebel.
For what?
Jefferson's Jezebel. Duh.
For the is that like the
Yeah,
Singapore
$2
hooker fund?
$2 horror because it said $2. So you know the $2
yeah.
wench. The $2.
Mickey! That was great. Okay, what else you got? I'm in.
Dude, chill. What happened?
I've been drinking. I'm on like my 7th glass. I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go.
$5 from Brad Baker. General, you're going to have to explain foot in the carburetor to the young people in here. They're very confused, lol.
I'm
4
not going to
barrels
explain
of-
foot in the carburetor. If you don't understand what it means to put your foot in the carburetor, then leave this live stream. You got no business being here. Not you, jabronis. You guys just stay put.
Scott Royston, $10. This, along with the gift I got off the link from Gen X Mom, goes to Gen Z Kid. Just to let you know, I got your back too. I always did.
Scott,
Thanks,
quit
Scott.
giving him money. You need to give that to me. Singapore Hooker Fund, baby.
$40 from Mark Widow off PayPal.
I love Mark Widow.
$20 for my birthday and $20 for the whiskey fund.
I don't like Mark Widow anymore.
$2 for the whiskey fund from John Jensen. $10 from Lionheart to get that whore covered up for staff's bar tab. First time going higher than $1.55. I think that
That's
is
true. You know, the $2 whore used to be the $1.55 whore for a brief time. And Lionheart and I are the only two people that remember that part of GenX Talks nostalgia. It was the dollar, but $2 whore rolls off the tongue better, so we moved on.
From Rumble the Firebug. I just got rid of one of my caregivers. I'm a disabled vet because he wouldn't shut up about his pronouns and sexuality.
Hold on. That's a Vietnam vet that needs a caregiver and needs someone to help him do his stuff, and was so fed up with she's like, you need to get the fuck out of here. I can't stand the way you're talking anymore. But you need somebody. Yeah, I know. I'd rather fucking be miserable and do it by myself than have you in here fucking making everything miserable. That's fucking badass. Whoever that guy was on Rumble, that vet, here's to you. I'm drinking this one to you. Not that I need a reason to drink, but since you gave me one, I'm drinking. Go ahead.
Last one from Facebook, Glenn Campala. If you ever come up to Lake Isabella for summer or when there's no.
I go up to Lake Isabella all the time.
Okay. Oh, okay, whatever.
I'm assuming
Typos.
snow.
Yeah, it's when there's snow. I will bring you a bottle of Jack to the lake. I respect what you're doing. Keep it up.
See, we got to. Who was that? Who did that?
Glenn Campala.
Glenn. We got to meet in Keysville. I've got some stories in Keysville that you won't believe. No, we can drive there and I can point and show you some shit from the 80s in Keysville. You'd go, holy shit, are you kidding me? And I go, no, I'm not kidding you. There's some stories. I've told a couple of them in here that really happened to me. There was a big gunfire, a big shootout we did in Keysville. There was a time when I snuck around up over the hills for 2 hours and hid under some motorhomes with some dogs looking for me. We talked about those. The Keysville, I got some stories, baby. You think I'm not steeped in the traditions of bodfish and Lake Isabella? I am, my man. I am.
You know, people talk about ultimate rivalries.
Yeah.
Whether it's sports or politics or anything.
Right.
No one talks about the Keysville-Locksville rivalry. It's actually crazy.
No, yeah, the Keysville rivalry.
Keysville-Locksville, man.
Yeah, something to tell you. All right, so let's go back to, I got to hit number 4. All right, you guys are back on camera now. Let us continue. I just want a one-word answer. Austin, we're going to start with you. One-word answer. Who do you feel you mostly associate with, align with? Democrats or Republicans?
Republican.
Republican.
I didn't even say your name yet, man. Wait for me to fucking say your name. There's one
He's
host
really
on this
excited.
program,
He's
and it's
really
this
excited.
guy. William.
Well, Republican.
All right. What do you guys got to discuss your fucking answer? You got a collective
She
answer?
doesn't know Republican or Democrat.
Oh my
She
God.
doesn't know.
She doesn't know what a difference is between a Republican and
Just
Democrat?
put her down as in between. Just
I was,
do
saying I was gonna tell her to say independent.
independent.
Then I would have asked her why. You're setting her up for failure.
And I was.
Addie, are you serious? You're fucking in high school. You have no idea what the differences are between Republican and Democrat?
My family is not in politics whatsoever.
It doesn't mean you can't be. Oh my
The
God.
most I watched was the presidential election and would look at the graphs to see who was doing better.
Wow.
I never learned about.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a revelation for me. Not only do I have to seriously consult my son about breaking up with this wonderful, lovely girl,
Whoa!
but I want to add to that right at this moment, when you heard her speak right now, it reminded me of one of the greatest philosophers of the 20th century, a man who I revere, Iceman from Bodfish, who looked at me across a bar table one night and said the immortal words, chicks, man. Chicks.
Don't cut my hand.
Does that not sum it up perfectly? Yes, I think it does. All right, moving over to Kid. Grab that mic and tell me, which one do you
People
align
agreed
with?
with me.
What's that?
People thought it was a good thing that I didn't know the difference.
Who would think it was a good
Look
idea?
at the comments. I've been reading those comments this entire
I
stream.
can't read the comments. I'm telling a story. I'm hosting a show right now.
And I'm helping.
You're not helping. You're letting me down right now. I love you, but good God, woman. All right, Kid, which way are you leaning?
Republican.
All right, we're going to move on. Austin, we're back to you. Now, this is kind of important. This is a current event. I know you may not know deeply. If you do know deeply, then say something. If you have a cursory knowledge, it's okay. I'm not judging you one way or the other. The situation in the Middle East is at a boiling point. Israel and Hamas. I'm not talking about who's backing Israel. I'm not talking about who's backing Hamas, but I'm sure you've heard enough because it's pounded into you every way it can be, even if you try not to watch. I want you to describe to me in your own words, just your own opinions, no right or wrong. Just tell me what you think is going on in the last 10 days with Israel and Hamas. Describe it from your own point of view.
Well, I don't get a ton of news on my For You page and stories and etc. on Instagram, etc. But I do see it occasionally. All I know is that people are saying free Palestine, or they're saying that Israel is bad or something and that there's death. Look, war is bad. I don't like war. I just think there's just two stupid people fighting over God or whatever. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Just because they want the land, I don't quite understand it. But quote from the Fallout game.
Okay. No, see, this is a good point. This lets a lot of people know the news that's getting to you allows you to think there's two people fighting over God and land, and you don't like war. That was it, right?
Yeah, I don't like.
I don't want to misquote you. Was that about it?
Yeah, just war never changes, as said from the Fallout franchise.
But what I got war in general, but what do you think about Israel Hamas from what you've listened to in your limited fashion? I get it wasn't on your For You page. I got it. But the news that's getting to you, is Israel more correct or Hamas more correct? What is the underlying feel? You have to be leaning a little way by what you've observed. I'm just asking for your opinion.
I don't lean either way. I just think that they should stop.
All right.
Find some sort of middle ground.
Okay. William, formerly known as Isaac, what do you think, man?
So with the war itself, we're humans. We're bound to fight about anything, really, where it be the most stupidest point or something that means very dear to us. However, honestly, with what I've seen, I don't lean really much with either side, because you can argue for one or the other. However, with me, I personally stay neutral with this type of subject.
All right. That's all I'm asking. I have my opinions. I'm just waiting for yours. Now, Addie, I'm assuming if you can't tell the difference between a Democrat and a Republican, you probably can't tell the difference between an Iron Dome missile and a pickle, and that's okay.
No, but
that's
I love
okay.
pickles.
I'm just asking, how do you feel about Iran, Hamas, and the situation? From your generation, all of you guys are 18 years old and under, am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Isaac, Austin, how old are you?
18.
Isaac,
18.
Addie, 12? Good. Briggs, good?
35.
35. All right. Addie, what do you got for us? What are you thinking about Israel and Hamas? Give me something from your generation.
I think I've been seeing the same wars with different countries over and over again, and I'm just sick of all of them. Because, like, here's the thing. There are some things that where it's just like, oh, people need to, like how Austin was saying earlier, that is just like, oh, we need to save this country. Like, oh, we need to support them more. And I'm not saying I don't agree.
Yeah.
But
all
I'm
right.
also saying it's just the same fight over and over again. Like, some people are just saying, like, oh, they're just attacking them for no reason. Like, how is it the same thing over and over? How can one just pick one side over the other and not and understand the entire side of the other country as well? Yes, sometimes they're stupid people, and they're gonna make stupid decisions. But I
So
think it's just
summarize
very
this. Just
repetitive.
give me what you're thinking. Israel or Hamas?
I'm with the rest of them.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm with the rest of them. Just
You can be with the rest of them, but you got to be loud. You got to be clear.
I'm with the rest of them,
All right.
and I'm just
Gen Z
neutral.
kid, I would like your opinion. There's no right or wrong here. I'm just asking for what you think by what you've been listening to.
I'd like to say that this is a great experiment to show how like news outlets get to the average American kid, because these guys, they don't listen to your world show, they don't listen to a lot of like news shows. This is literally how social media affects Generation Z. I'd like to point out to the viewers how cool that is. I think that this is a different war compared to other wars that happen around the world, because it is almost solely based on religion. If you're not talking about the people backing the countries and you're only talking about Israel versus Hamas, then it's a holy war. And holy wars have been happening for centuries. So this isn't new for human nature. It's very tough to talk about, because both have legitimate claims in their religion to that land, and they need it because it's important
I
to their
got you.
religion.
You're not wrong, but there is a war going on right now with a situation that happened.
Yeah.
Whose side would you be on for that? Where we are now? I'm not talking about centuries. Right now, with what happened, I'm not. You notice I'm not even describing it because I don't want to lead you down a path.
I know. This is like two little kids on an elementary school playground who insulted each other and don't want to play ball together, okay? You need to come in there. There needs to be like Austin said, there needs to be a middle ground, because the religions are both too big for one side to win. Because no matter what, there's going to be a counterattack. The religions are too big and too spread out.
Okay. All right.
So there needs to be a middle ground where they need to, like we tried at one point. There was a time where the UN and world tried to split the Holy Land.
Yeah, two states. They wanted two states. I got that.
My solution, in my opinion, I think it needs to be treated like Antarctica. And
oh my God, here we go.
Everyone just leaves it alone?
Yes, where it is for all of humanity. That area is for every human, no matter what.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, because there are multiple religions that claim Jerusalem as their holy ground, as their site. I got it. But I want all four of you to listen to me for just 1 second. I'm just going to speak in a couple facts. Yes, there has been Palestinians and Israelis that both agree The other is wrong and they're right. Okay? Just so you understand. They both have had attacks and wars. I got that. You get that, right? But speaking purely from just what recently happened, Hamas is a very extreme faction of Palestinians. The Palestinians as a whole are like, hey, we didn't do this. You understand that? That you could find millions of Palestinians who go, well, we didn't do this. This was them. They are Palestinians. They are representing, but you got to realize there's a bunch of people that were like, whoa. That was them. And what Hamas did was go into Israel and kill people. This is not negotiating. This is not, well, let's prove it. Let's not, well, it's up to interpretation. No. They fired thousands of rockets across the border. They cut the fence. They blew up the fences. They blew up the border. They ran in. They killed people in their homes. There's video of them cutting off the heads of children in front of their mothers. There's video of them kidnapping people and bringing them back to their area, the Gaza Strip. Now, you can talk about all the, well, it's two religions and they've been fighting for years. I'm just pointing out to you what has happened recently. When I'm asking you which side would you pick, when I'm asking you which side would you support, you can say, hey, there's two states, there's two religions, there's two fractions, there needs to be a two-state. Fine, I'd go along with all that. But the actions of one against the other, I'm not with it. I got to tell you, I don't care what your fucking problem is. I don't care what your fucking centuries old bullshit is with what you're saying. You don't. What did that 4-year-old child have to do with any of this? When you took a shovel and kept cutting his head in front of his mother. No. And I support Israel not blindly, but heavily. Heavily support Israel. And when something like this happens against Israel, yeah. And what you all said from your generation, from what you've observed from the news was, hey, we all got to slow down and have peace. We all got to slow down and put everything in check. I got it. I understand why you're saying that. I do. Ultimately, that's what I want too. But am I for Israel going into that area and cleaning house? You goddamn right I am. Am I all for Israel going in there and going, all you motherfuckers in Hamas on the extreme, we're going to kill you and we're going to throw your bodies in the ocean? What did I start by telling you? All the Palestinians that are just regular people going, we didn't do this, we don't want this. They're not going to fuck with those guys. They're letting them live. They're going after the radical extreme part of that party and getting rid of it. Am I for that? Yes, absolutely. Those people went in and did something terrible. Israel's going to wipe them the fuck out. And then start over with the good people, the good Palestinians that just have differences of opinion, differences of religion, and differences of... Fine, I'm all for that. Israel's not going to go in and kill every single person out there. They're getting rid of the people that killed Jews, that killed Israelis, that crossed the border, and they're going to wipe them all out. Just so you guys know what I listen to your opinions. You want my opinion? That's my opinion. They're going to push them back to the border and go, you're not doing that again. You're gone. You're not going to come in and kill women and children. You're done. You're fucking done. Now, maybe that's old school. Maybe that's my Generation X thinking. Maybe that's I've been on this planet 55 years. Maybe that's just don't fuck around anymore. All right. Maybe I'm not thinking quite like you guys are. But I am going to tell you this. You guys need to really fucking do your homework. I'm not telling you which side to be on. I'm not telling you watch Fox News or watch CNN. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is, at some point, guys like me are going to be gone. And what's going to be left is you guys. And if you guys don't use common sense and find the truth of what's going on in any situation, you're not going to, you just rely on what you hear in the propaganda on either side, what you hear left and right. You do some fucking homework, man. One of the friends of our program is a guy named Tomash who lives in Israel. He's on the fucking ground right now. One of his dad's relatives was killed by Hamas fighting back. Died. He's gone. One of his relatives was in the hospital for fighting back against Hamas when they ran across the border. Now, I don't know all the specifications. I don't know all the technical stuff from the Pentagon. I don't know all that shit. But I know ground level. I know Tomash. I know the one guy who's standing there looking out of his front door with a phone going, this is what I'm seeing. You guys are going to need to find the truth in every situation. You guys are going to need to do, because we're old. We're leaving. Sorry to burden you, but you got to do it. You can't just go along with the flavor of the week with stuff. You kids are representing of your generation, and you're going to have to stand up, and you're going to have to reason stuff through, and you have to figure it out. Yes, peace for everybody is a good answer. I want that too. But you got to realize that what you're saying, hey, whoa, everybody, peace, peace, peace. You guys weren't saying that 15 days ago when Hamas was attacking. You guys didn't scream peace, peace, peace because you didn't know. You weren't informed. Please be informed and make your own decisions. On Israel with that stuff, that's all I'm talking about. I'm asking you guys to pay attention. That's it. Make your own decisions. Whether you agree with me or don't, that's fine. But don't do it based on superficial stuff. Do your homework. Now we're going to get into some serious conversation. You think that Hamas and Israel was serious? This is really serious. M&Ms or Skittles? This is a topic that has plagued generations forever. Austin, we're starting with you. Now, Austin, I got to tell you, there's a right and wrong answer. You fucked this up. I'm going to throw you over the fucking wall into traffic. Austin, M&Ms or Skittles?
I'm very sorry. Skittles.
You goddamn redneck hillbilly hippie with fucked up hair. You know, punch yourself in the face and get out. Isaac, what do you think?
Skittles honestly taste like plastic, so I'm going with M&M.
There we go. My man, somebody who's got some common sense. Skittles taste like plastic. I'm stealing that. I'm using that forever. I promise you. Addie, where you at?
I got sick too much from Skittles as a kid, so M&Ms.
There we go, M&Ms. Kid, don't make me divorce you.
I was dumb as a kid, so I like M&Ms. That's literally what you just said. You don't, it's not flavor. It's like, I ate.
I got sick.
Because you ate too much. That's you not being smart.
Okay, thanks for calling me dumb in front of everyone.
You're dumb and you ate too many. You got sick.
We're gonna see just how much you're gonna agree with that later.
Wow. He's going to go off camera and go, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean any of that shit I said. I was just doing that for views and likes. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't mean anything. That's what's going to happen.
Thanks for trying to bail me out, but no, I'm dead serious.
Did you hear what she just told you? We're going to find out later how much you like that statement. You're in trouble.
Look, we all know what the correct answer is.
Yes, we do.
It's Skittles, man.
Whoa.
It's Skittles.
I'm done with you. There's a reason why your dad loves me.
This is why we're on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
This is why
Okay.
we're always on the same wavelength.
You two have serious fucking issues completely.
I'm starting to rethink about everything right now.
I'm sorry. Addie, I would love to be part of the family, but if you divorce him right now and go your own way.
Let's see. How many people are on? How many people did you just call me stupid in front of? Let's see. 285. That's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
And see, that's what's funny is that that's all women think about. They're not thinking about the argument of Skittles and M&Ms.
Yeah.
All she got from that was you called me stupid in front of people. That was the main point. Welcome to diagnosing women. That's what she thought. That's what she got from this conversation was you called me stupid in front of people.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear from you.
Wow.
You told a story of how you were stupid in front of everybody. Everybody already knew. Everybody already knew. She was the one who brought it up. She's the one who brought it up.
I got sick, not just because I ate too many, because they suck. They got me sick. They're high on sugar, and I got sick.
Should we get into how much sugar is in Skittles versus how much sugar is in M&Ms? Should we go there?
It doesn't matter.
You just brought it up.
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter. Now you know what? I'm done with you. Whole thing. This is over.
God damn it! We witnessed a breakup right here. Now, if you're gonna break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, is there a better issue than Skittles and M&Ms? I don't think so. I think that's a great topic.
I better be heading home soon after this, and not with you. I'd rather walk.
There's too much sugar in Skittles. Well, now we need to figure out which one. That's not the point. That's not the point.
You called me stupid.
Wow. As life evolves.
Standing by it.
Do you realize that how many Generation X people are just stirring their drink right now going, been there, done that. Good God, God damn it. Hey, kid, is there some sheets you got to read?
Probably.
All right, listen, if there's sheets you got to read, and it has, hey, listen, if it has to do with Israel and Hamas, read it, but I'm not going to respond. Let's just go through it. Go on. In between the sheets
only
right
one.
now.
Hezbollah is effing around now, too, it looks like. That's what from Rumble. That was it. That's the only thing we have in there.
That's it.
Yep.
Wisely done by the moderators. They have not piled up the sheets with, opinions on the good stuff. All right. So listen, now, I don't want to cause any waves here. All right. Does anybody in here raise your hand if you know Van Halen? Holy shit.
Heard of him?
Oh, you've heard of him.
Him.
Who is? Shut up.
Them.
Who is Van Halen? If you've heard of him,
Like I said, I've heard the name. Sorry.
you've heard of him.
I've them.
Yeah. If he hadn't said that, you said you've heard of him. Oh, good. We can clearly have a rational conversation on the man known as Van Halen. Okay.
All I said was I've heard of them. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they sing. I
blame your parents for this, just so you know, and yours too.
Blame my mother more specifically. She's a country fan. She only listens to country.
You know what's really funny is when I got to this town. Now remember, I was born and raised in the 70s and 80s in Los Angeles. All right, that's my background. When I get to this land and I say, "Are there any cool radio stations out here?" You know what people told me when I got to this town? He goes, "Hey, we got the radio stations you want. We got both kinds. We got country and Western." I remember telling that guy, "Shoot me fucking now." Are you kidding me? I wanted to put a big antenna on my house just so I could get KLOS again. Just saying like that. All right. We're going around the room. Austin, Coke or Pepsi?
I drink water. I don't like either.
Yeah, he doesn't drink soda at
My
all.
God. All right. William, Coke or Pepsi?
Isaac.
Coke.
Addie, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Pepsi sucks.
Kid.
Coke.
All right.
Bottled Coca-Cola.
Bottled Coca-Cola. Hey, do you have a preference on bottled?
What do you mean? Like Mexican Coke?
Mexican Coke?
Yeah.
Hey, if you... No, this is a real thing.
No, straight up. Yeah, it actually is. Isaac, I know you know.
Isaac, I know you know. Now, not the Mexican Coke that you say, oh, they got Mexican Coke in Albertsons. No. I mean, you go to a real restaurant where the guy has to go out to the trunk of his car and get you some Mexican Coke from a box that he drove across the border.
Are we still talking about the drink?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm making sure, bro. That sounded
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, okay.
I'm serious. I have had there was a restaurant that was in now I can't remember the name of the hotel. Red Rock Hotel and Casino. There used to be a Mexican restaurant, and my wife and I used to go there. And the manager who ran that would you want a Coke? Do you want a Mexican Coke? And they had Coke, they had Mexican Coke, and they had Mexican Coke from the trunk of his car. And the dude would go outside and bring you something with the funky label and the funky best Coca-Cola I've ever had in my life. True story. Hey. No cough button, no coughing.
Oh, yeah, there's a cough button right here. My bad.
Well, then use it.
My bad.
So just so you know, there is a difference on that. Just letting you know. All right. So I got to go. We're almost 2 hours into this program. I have no idea whether, okay, super chats are being missed. How are you missing super chats?
Because no one's modding YouTube.
No one's moderating YouTube?
It was me.
Wow. Did anybody write the super chats down in there?
No.
John Morgan, $5. I can't eat M&Ms. I get too many W's and E's in the back. Oh, that was clever. Good
Way
job
to
there.
face the music, man.
I don't have anything on my screen. I can't scroll back that far.
Really?
Who fucked up? Who fucked up super chats?
Hey, man, you need some. All right, so we got two Canadian dollars from Brian Ivany. Several people sent super chats. Now notice. Hold on, let's scroll up.
You can't scroll up.
It's just John Morgan.
I got John's.
That's it.
Did you need your mommy here to hold your hand to be able to do this kind of shit?
No.
Because mom does the sheets flawlessly.
I was doing the sheets.
Did you hear the word I used? Flawlessly.
I got promoted halfway through the stream.
Promoted?
Yeah, I'm on.
You got to work on the roof? You got a raise?
I'm on cam now.
Ah, for God's sakes. All right, listen. Isaac, say goodbye to everybody.
See y'all.
Austin, say goodbye to everybody.
Good evening, good morning, good night to everybody on cam.
Oh, he said the thing.
wow.
He said the
He
thing.
stole
He did the
my
thing.
line.
He did the thing.
He stole my
He did it.
fucking line.
You see the wink too? He did the.
He cut
nailed
my
it. He
doobage
nailed it.
with style and grace.
He used to do
man.
all our outros. Look at that.
Addie, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Kid, do your thing.
So mad. Okay. Bye, everybody. From everybody here at GenX Talks, we will catch you guys.
Don't you say my
on
line.
the flip side.
You bitch, I tell you. All right, look, I got to go. This was not a usual show. This was unusual. What did you expect from GenX Talks? If you had a couple hours to waste, well, I'm glad you wasted it here. Now, I know I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me by the staff and the staff thread. Every person's going to have a critique on tonight. I'm ready to take it. It was off the cuff. We did what we could. What do we got here? Shoeless one, $10. I have my room reserved at the Red Rock. Why? Why did Shoeless Joe say that? I'm saying Shoeless Joe Jackson because in January, we are all meeting for a big GenX Tardy shindig. We are having, I think it's around January 27th, we are having a big event with food and alcohol and bowling and 80s music. It's going to be a lot of fun. You got to get your room reserved. You can be in the Red Rock Hotel. You can be close by, but don't forget to show up. This is going to be one for the books. By then, the radio station will be in full swing. We'll probably do a live broadcast from the show. If you want to meet all the staff at GenX Talks, I'm talking about Lion and Tuber and Trippy and everybody who's on staff who's willing to go, plus all the names you know, all the people you know, green name, they're going to be there. Do you want to put a face with a name? Save up your aluminum cash, go to the sperm bank, go to the blood bank, cash in every bodily fluid you've got, save it up, and head over here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of this. Remember, there's two things I got to tell you. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. And the last thing, it's the big one. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.